Gohan vs. Cell is one of the most iconic fights in anime history and arguably has the best moment in all of Dragon Ball, with Gohan introducing Super Saiyan 2 into the franchise. This fight's so great that it even had in-universe lore. 7 years after the fight against Cell, references to both Gohan and Cell himself are still happening. One of the most controversial examples of this is Dabura, the supreme demon king of the demon realm, being compared to the very Cell that threatened the universe prior. This single comparison sparked a debate about who would win between the two of them, something we'll be going over in this video here. In addition to this, we have the other controversial debate, like if Gohan actually used Super Saiyan 2 in his fight with Dabura. Since Gohan is stated to be weaker than he was 7 years ago, it became a shocker to everyone that he was even able to fight against Dabura at all, given that he should be as strong as Cell. And finally, the battle between Gohan and Cell seems to be going on still to this very day. Even though Gohan in the end was victorious, people often question if he actually was more powerful than Cell was, so we'll be going over and explaining that aspect of things as well. We will be using the anime, manga, and various guides to elaborate our points here. Drop me a comment on any other versus battle you'd like to see in the future, and join the Discord if you haven't yet. I promise you'll have a good time. Without further ado, let's get into the video. In chronological order, we can talk about Gohan vs. Cell first. Something that I think is important to acknowledge in this fight is the fact that Gohan had Super Saiyan 2 and a Rage Boost on top of that. This was the reason that Cell, before his rebirth, was getting absolutely destroyed by Gohan with very minimal effort. For those of you who don't know, Gohan throughout the series has received what fans have dubbed Rage Boosts. These quick bursts of anger have allowed Gohan to surpass whatever his limits were and exponentially increase his power, to the point where he would be a threat to whoever stood on the opposite end of it. So, Gohan did in fact become twice as strong when he became a Super Saiyan 2 with an unquantifiable Rage Boost on top of this. After Gohan proceeded to bully Perfect Cell, he opts to explode and take the world with him, killing Goku in the process. When he returns, he's much more powerful than he was before and states that he's powered up like Gohan, or in some other translations, he's almost as powerful as Gohan. If he took the latter into consideration, then the initial debate here would be over, since Cell would be admitting here that he's not as strong as Gohan. However, this is not only inconsistent with Cell's character, but contradicts the statements and guides we have here. One of them actually stating in the 50th anniversary V-Jump that powered up, there's nothing that can be done against Cell, implying Cell will be greater if not equal to Gohan. In the Daizenshuu 2, it states that Cell was not dead. He regenerated in his perfect form, acquired instant transmission, and became the strongest being. This statement would seemingly be in support of the fact that Cell was now stronger than Gohan at the time of his arrival. Dende makes a comment saying that there might not be anything that they can do against Cell this time after he's arrived back on the planet. So you can see how this can be quite the debatable topic when it comes to Gohan vs. Cell. Now let's make a callback to what we talked about earlier involving Gohan's Rage Boost. After the death of Goku, it's apparent that Gohan is no longer in his angry state and feels horrible for letting his father down. This is important because it would suggest that Gohan after this point did technically get weaker since Cell's arrival. Your mental stability contributes quite a bit towards your power in the world of Dragon Ball. When your right-mindedness is disrupted, this can influence your power. So not only will Gohan be slightly mental nerfed, but his Rage Boost has subsided following Cell's return. So the statements that suggest Cell is the strongest at this time does make sense. All of the scans supporting Cell being stronger than Gohan also show a Gohan that hasn't yet regained his resolve. When Cell opts to kill Vegeta, Gohan shields him from the blast, which damages Gohan severely, so much to the point where it's stated that he was at half of his original strength. The fact that Cell was able to hurt Gohan so severely with a blast that was intended to kill Vegeta also shows his dominance and strength at that time. When the final beam clash is initiated, Gohan is losing pretty badly, and a lot of the reason for this is him being remorseful and focusing on everything but the fight that's in front of him. It's here where Goku steps back in to build Gohan's morale and has him tap back into his Rage Boost at the very end, which overpowers Cell, taking him out for good. I think the proper assessment of who's stronger between the two goes something like this. When Gohan has his Rage Boost, he is much stronger than Cell, and it's not even close. When Gohan is just a regular Super Saiyan 2, he's still most likely stronger, however it's a much closer fight and you can argue that Cell is stronger here. Morale hurt Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, however, is way inferior to Cell and it showed a lot in their confrontation. So for the Cell vs Gohan aspect of the video, I will be giving it to Gohan. For the next matchup, we have Cell vs Dabura. Since Gohan is already superior to Cell, the winner of this fight will ultimately determine the order of these contestants. In the manga, it's implied that Dabura is slightly stronger than Cell. Goku, when assessing the strength of Dabura, says that he's just about as strong as Cell 7 years ago. The Cell that Goku will be referring to here is Super Perfect Cell. The reason we know this is because this is the last version of Cell that they see. We as the fans differentiate the Super Saiyan 2 version of Cell, calling him Super Perfect Cell, and the Cell before he resurrects just Perfect Cell. but the characters in the story don't usually use these terms. Because Goku didn't make any distinction besides saying Cell, logic would dictate that this is indeed the Cell that he's talking about. Even if Dabura wasn't at full strength when he blitzed and killed Kibito, Goku still assessed him to be at the level of Super Perfect Cell, and it's revealed later that Dabura actually was holding back, and Goku admits he's a lot stronger than he thought he'd be, which would imply that Dabura should be stronger than Cell by a decent margin. Although what's also agreed upon is that if Gohan were to be as strong as he was when he defeated Cell, he could defeat Dabura the same way. What this would mean is that Super Saiyan 2 Rage Boost Gohan would be above Dabura and Super Perfect Cell, but Dabura would be above Super Perfect Cell and below Super Saiyan 2 Rage Boost Gohan, with more than likely the distance between Dabura and Cell being much closer than Dabura and Gohan. So in the manga, Dabura would be stronger than Cell, but most likely lose to him in an actual battle, mainly because of Cell possessing Saiyan genes and various hacks abilities that would give him the edge. One of which being the Cell Juniors, which are stated to be around the same strength as him more or less. He can also regenerate, rendering Dabura's spit to be pretty much useless. When fighting an opponent like Cell, you also would like to be much stronger than him, since he can regenerate from just a single cell and get stronger after he does due to his Saiyan genes, which will give him a Zenkai boost for having a near-death experience. This is how he became Super Perfect Cell in the first place. He also should have infinite ki since he has Android 17 absorbed. Not to mention this version of Cell should know about this little explosion cheat code as he explained it to the Z Fighters upon his arrival and can blow himself up at any time. He also apparently can do the Spirit Bomb, which is insane. Imagine him having like 10 Cell Juniors fight and distract Dabura while he collects energy to make a Spirit Bomb. Now that would be something to see. Because of this, I would have the order going similar to how the thumbnail looks, funny enough. Gohan would be on top, with Cell second and Dabura coming in third. Dabura is stronger than Cell, but he wouldn't beat him in an actual fight. Now, when talking about the anime version, it gets pretty interesting. You could argue that the anime is simply a depiction of the manga and render anything that happens in and outside of it to be unneeded filler. However, it seems that the Buu saga is where the manga and the anime start to have a bit of division in their viewpoints. For example, it's heavily implied that Kid Buu is stronger than Buuhan in the anime, where in the manga it's the opposite. So we can't really ignore the differences when they start to come into play. There's a huge debate surrounding if Gohan was actually using Super Saiyan 2 against Dabura in the anime. Now, whether this is the case or not won't change the ordering we previously established, but it does affect the gap between the strength of Cell and Dabura. If Gohan is a Super Saiyan here and going back and forth with Dabura despite this, then it heavily implies Cell slams Dabura easily. But I'll let you guys debate that in the comment section below. Thank you to everyone who's made it this far in the video. It does mean more than you know, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to leave a versus battle you'd like to see in the comment section down below, or give your critiques on this one. What's your list? Does your order change? Is it different than mine, or is it the same? Also, look for community posts daily, as I do post a lot of things that will be happening on the channel, and you get to vote to choose some of the best videos that you might want to see. Anyways, that's enough yapping. See ya. For everyone who have made it to the end of the video and walked with me on this journey, I thank you. You're an irreplaceable fan that I'd like to be a part of the main Majin Bird family, and I implore you to join the Dragon Ball HQ Discord server in the description. Here I'd like to garner a core fan base of Dragon Ball fans where we can celebrate and discuss the miracle that is Dragon Ball. Thank you.